This was another standout year for AFDO. The AFDO members, board, and staff continue to live the organization's mission by sharing, connecting, impacting, and protecting public health. The organization's staff of 29 served nearly 2,400 state, local, territorial, tribal, and federal programs overseeing retail and manufactured foods, produce, and medical products while engaging all stakeholders. Let's look at a few of the ways that happened over the past year. After identifying core values for our work last year, the AFDO board cemented those values as the foundation for goals this year. AFDO priorities for the coming year continue to represent areas that need ongoing attention as well as the leveraging of opportunities to expand impact. Those priorities include develop and provide resources and opportunities to recruit and retain the next generation of public health regulatory professionals. Develop tools and resources to assist regulatory programs in addressing current public policy proposals. Identify, develop, and provide timely training on technical and professional issues. Cultivate an inclusive regulatory community. AFDO rolled out a new credentialing program last year at the annual educational conference. The program is based upon the FDA National Curriculum Standards and includes 4 credentials for active duty regulators. To date, more than 110 people have participated in the program. The program will be expanded even further over the next year. Representing the state, local, tribal, and territorial regulatory programs that are critical to an integrated food safety system in Washington, the association continues to engage a multi-client professional lobbying firm to assist with developing relationships with policymakers. This relationship building has supported a legislative fly-in of AFDO board members and dozens of meetings with congressional staff representatives and, when available, members of Congress themselves, the White House, and others. With FDA announcing a planned reduction in funding to state and local programs from $117 million to $83 million for federal fiscal year 2025. AFDO has been coordinating messages to Congress with other associations, industry, and consumer groups about the consequences of this devastating reduction, which would set the integrated food safety system required by FSMA back by decades and cripple federal collaboration with state and local programs for a generation. FDA, AFDO, and NASDA have come to agreement on legislative language to allow information sharing for recall distribution information, inspection, complaints, and other items with state and local public health and regulatory officials, eliminating the need for the duplication of effort and allowing those agencies to use the information as needed. We are hopeful this will be passed yet this year. AFDO continues to advocate for an amendment to FSMA to increase the length of cooperative agreements from 3 to 5 years like other FDA cooperative agreements. To better understand and advocate at the state and federal levels, AFDO conducted a national Harris Poll survey of over 1,800 consumers about cottage food regulation, food recalls, and their perceptions of food safety regulation. Consumers remain strongly supportive of food safety programs and expect their food to be produced under reliable inspection programs. AFDO continues its critical role in the work of the Retail Food Safety Regulatory Association Collaborative. The collaborative brings together 7 member organizations and federal agencies: AFDO, NACCHO, NEHA, ASTO, CFP, FDA, and CDC, all working together toward a reduction in foodborne illness with substantial financial support from FDA. In the last year, AFDO work as part of the Retail Collaborative has included continuing the analysis of retail inspection data to uncover retail inspection trends with a focus on key risk factor observations and those related to inspection duration and key risk factors being observed, including updating the database now to include more than 850,000 inspections. Developing a risk-based inspections and maturity model workshop. Completing an article which will be published in Food Protection Trends on Employee Health in Large Retail Brands. Piloting a new free B-style tabletop retail-focused exercise which will be released in the fall. Conducting our second comprehensive survey of state retail food safety programs. Presenting findings from our work at 19 regulatory and industry events. And hosting a webinar on adopting the food code via regulatory adoptions. Monthly state retail program manager calls have been held to cover risk control plans, risk factor studies, and the Retail Data Analytics Project. AFDO has also maintained information on food code adoptions and a directory of retail standards verification auditors. Every year, thousands of food manufacturing facilities undergo inspections from dozens of state agencies, each with varying methods and frequencies. The goal of the Manufactured Food Data Analytics Project is to create a comprehensive overview of food safety inspections across the United States and across state borders. This effort is integrating regulatory inspection data from multiple states. This project will not only reveal valuable insights, but also establish a foundation for data-driven decision-making in the food safety sector. The data will allow regulators to identify nationwide trends in food safety while preventing foodborne illnesses. For the first time ever, AFDO introduced an extensive selection of training programs. These offerings included both virtual and in-person courses of technical and power skills with substantial discounts for AFDO members. At this conference, we are announcing a similar program for this coming year. AFDO offered an inaugural in-person intensive food safety culture for regulators with Frank Yanas. This 2-day course will be offered again next January. AFDO led the pilot of the Active Managerial Controls course for industry leaders and conducted several environmental sampling for retail outbreaks trainings. AFDO members and constituents identified power skills training as one of the areas most needed to improve their effectiveness as program leaders. AFDO continues to add to our power skills framework with new courses coming next year, including implementing change. We have secured the ability to add industry to more courses next year. An additional industry-only course called Risk-Based Auditing will be offered in addition to Active Managerial Control for Industry. The AFDO team delivered retail environmental sampling courses in 6 locations, serving more than 129 people, often offered through a collaborative funding mechanism with state agencies, AFDO affiliates, and others. While these programs may require cost recovery to obtain, they are typically priced well below the market. With FDA financial support, the AFDO team has been addressing the challenge of recruiting and retaining talent. The AFDO Career Center website foodsafetycareers.org has featured more than 200 career opportunities with state health and agriculture departments, FDA, USDA, and FSIS this year. AFDO is growing a network of colleges and universities across the country, sharing the Career Center website and encouraging students to consider working in the public sector after graduation. AFDO's participation included 32 presentations. 9 of the schools visited are minority-serving institutions. An estimated 2,300 faculty and students have been touched while sharing the importance and benefits of a career in food safety. AFDO hosted the 3rd annual Virtual Inspector Boot Camp and 2nd annual Advanced Inspector Boot Camp trainings in January. Successful topics from the past were repeated for first-time attendees along with new material, including effective inspection interviews and discussions on plant-based product production. New this year was a virtual kitchen tour funded by the Endowment Foundation, highlighting equipment new inspectors can expect to see and how it fits into a risk-based inspection. This material is now available on demand to food programs to educate new inspectors year-round. The Inspector Boot Camp training had 2,060 attendees over the 3 sessions, which was an increase of more than 200 attendees from 2023. Advanced Boot Camp attracted 2,578 attendees, an increase of over 1,000 attendees. Participants for both rated the opportunity 4.27 out of 5. Throughout 2023, AFDO worked with potential SAFER users representing more than 22 states to identify common processes, terminology, and workflows to help them perform their daily work more easily and efficiently. This user input was collected and organized into requirements for the SAFER development team. This fall, users participated in an evaluation of the beta version or proof of concept of the SAFER application. Testers were pleased with the look and feel of the platform. The SAFER team is continuing their development work into 2024, while working with states to plan budget, procurement activities, and implementations. SAFER will be piloted in early 2025 with overall implementation occurring later in the year and early 2026. In addition to all this, the AFDO team continued long-term projects such as hosting the MFRPA annual meeting and activities, hosting the annual RRT face-to-face meeting, maintaining directories such as the Directory of State and Local Officials, subject matter experts, and process authorities, providing up-to-date tracking on key state legislative activities related to food, medical product, and cannabis, providing support to produce safety programs, delivering and providing instructional design support for FDA trainings on behalf of OTED. All that we accomplished this year and will continue to accomplish in the future is with the support of state, local, tribal, territorial, and federal partners, substantial financial support from FDA and others, and continuing collaboration with industry, trade associations, and consumer group stakeholders across the food and medical products communities. Together, we have advanced an integrated food safety system. This brief look only begins to illustrate the number and depth of projects and programs AFDO executes in a given year. These examples provide evidence of the passion displayed every day by AFDO constituents, members, its board, and staff. There are exciting plans for the 24-25 year with new programs and development underway. Keep watching for more.